Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, welcome. My name is Kitty. On my channel, I like to do scary stories, stories of my personal life, makeup related videos, shopping hauls, vlogs, and we do a lot of live streams here. So if one of those things speak to you, make sure to subscribe to my channel. As you can tell by the title, this one is going to be scary stories. So how this works is my viewers will send in their stories to me by email and I will read them to you. So let's get started. Hello Kitty, it's me again, and I thought I'd give you two short stories today in this one email because they are short. I'll be sending more soon. Thank you. This first story is from my aunt. It takes place up in the mountains. If you don't know, I'm from Vilas, Arizona, as well as my aunt. I don't know where she was camping specifically or why she was up there. All I know was she was camping out with her husband and two boys. They had two separate tents, one for her and her husband, and the other tent was for her two boys. I think after 2 days of camping, her boys went back down to Vilas in the evening time and was going to come back up the next morning with my aunt and her kids. That night, right before they went to sleep, they put all the food and some camping supplies in another tent just in case the flies get to it. The next morning, they woke up to voices outside of their tent. They thought it was the two boys and my other aunt who was outside. The more they listened, the more they realized it wasn't them, and it sounded like Apache gibberish, is what they can describe it. My aunt's husband unzipped the tent and there was no one, and the voices stopped. He walked around the area and there was nothing except on my cousin's tent there was a big hole in the back of it. Some of the food and other camping supplies went missing, and it was messy. The hole looked like someone used an axe or machete to tear it up. It was also big enough to fit only a small person. My aunt believes they had an encounter with the little people. No one knows who that really was and what took their food and items and who was talking when they woke up. They will never know. You know what's crazy though? Is because I personally have heard stories from people who have experienced little people, and it's always the same. They're little and they sound like they're talking Apache, but it's hard to understand, and it's always in the mountains. So yeah, if more did, I've heard at least 7 stories now, maybe 10. If 10 different people have said that, there's got to be some truth to it. Thank you for sharing this story. Story number 2. Context. Just a little background. Around this time, I worked nights from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. I made friends from work who I'm still great friends with today. They're also night owls because we're so used to being up late and driving alone at night, which doesn't scare me anymore. When we worked, sometimes we talked on the phones and our bosses didn't really care because as long as we did our job, they had no problem with it. I'll be telling the story from my friend's point of view. Before I get into the story, I'd like to mention something first. Is this friend like to be a G-head sometimes and work out late at night? When I mean late, I'm talking about 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. late. And no kidding, he's not a crackhead. I was thinking, why you said G-head, so when you say G-head, I'm gonna think that they're a crackhead. But thank you for clarifying. It's funny how Apaches are because we will say stuff like that, like they're just not acting all G'd out, or they're just like, but really they're not, but they just act like it. So I think that's how he was saying it, which is it's kind of funny. Pray for those who are suffering with drugs, though, for real, because it's not It's not easy getting off of those things. This story happened this past February. I live off the highway in Bylis, so I always hear the cars pass by late at night. I work outside my house. My grandma's house has sensor lights outside in the back, and in the area I work out at is on the side where I can see the back and the side of her house clearly. The sensors in the back sometimes go off from movement that is more likely caused by dogs as I'm working out. This night, the dogs were under the shaded tree by our side door, which was right directly in front of me. Midway through my workout, my friends called the group chat. All bad, the guys have a group chat? So I answered, knowing they're all at work. I was going to tease them about having to work. About 20 minutes of talking, and I was taking a break sitting on the bench in a shaded area, still able to see everything. The lights in the back were all turned on, so I looked in that direction and I saw a small gnome-like figure looking at me. I can tell it was trying to hide in the bare grass. I don't think it realized that I could see them. Looking at me, I saw the eyes of the gnome. It looked like it was wearing a dirty white shirt. It felt like forever of a staring contest, so I decided to wave. The little person smiled with its eyes and turned around and walked away and crossed the fence into the desert. I thought it was weird, and I didn't believe that there were little people in Bylis until I saw it with my own eyes. Dang! You know what? I've never heard of little people in Bylis, but you guys are down by the mountains, so I wouldn't doubt that. Thank you, Kitty, for taking time out of your day to read my story. Hopefully I get to see this in a future video, and we'll have more coming soon. I hope you have a good day. Enjoy the stories that come in. If you have any questions, please contact me. Thank you for always sending in stories. Bylis people, White River, CBQ, Honda, Pine Top, Payson, Fort McDowell, Saskatoon, Hill River, anywhere. You guys are welcome to send in your stories. We love hearing Native American scary stories here. One day, my friend's aunt was staying up late watching her novellas. If you guys don't know what novellas are, those are like the drama soap opera shows, but it's all in Spanish. I heard those are pretty good. It was maybe around 11 p.m. While she's watching, she starts hearing children playing in the front patio. This was weird since it was late and her nephews were long asleep. She went to the front door and opened it to see who it was. To her surprise, what she saw weren't children, but it was a shadow of a man smoking a cigarette, like those big ones you see in the movies. He was looking right at her. What she could sort of make out from him was that he was wearing really fancy clothes, almost like he wasn't from this time. Obviously scared out of her mind, she closed the door. The lady is in a wheelchair and in her room. She has a button that alerts her family when she needs help. So she rung the button several times. The button magically wasn't working, so no one ever came down. She spent the rest of the night praying, pretty much until the morning. One of her nieces next door also used to see a similar shadow. We believe he's really the same entity, the difference being he would only motion for the niece to go with him with a wave of his hand. To say the least, my friend's auntie has seen it all in that house, even seeing random light in the middle of the room that wakes her up at night. Random animals appear in that same place, including a giraffe. Once a small boy-like elf at the foot of her bed that hides, etc. That was it. No ending, but apparently a lot of weird stuff happened here. Yeah, thank you for sharing your story. I want to get into the brujas though. Send me those stories. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed these 3 stories. They were a little short this time, but we're running low on stories. So if you guys want to participate, or if you know somebody that has a story and you want to tell it for them, let me know. I enjoy doing these stories. I know you guys enjoy watching them, but in order for me to keep putting out these videos, you guys do need to send in more stories. So I encourage you guys to send more if you want more videos. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. Make sure to hit the like button on your way out. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.